Problem 8. Find dy dx by implicit differentiation. This expression is this expression. Square root x plus y is 4 plus x squared y squared. Take derivative with respect to x of both sides. Of the first term on the left equals derivative of first term plus derivative of the second term. So look at the first term here on the left. Square root, that's nothing but power half. So this calls for chain rule. Power half comes down, reduces by 1, and the object inside you are going to times derivative of the object inside. Derivative of x is 1 plus derivative of y is dy dx. Right hand side, derivative of constant is 0 plus. This calls for product rule. Derivative of the first, second as it is, plus. First as it is, derivative of the second, 2y dy dx. So notice dy dx are in two places. So we might want to open it out. Look at this. This is 1 over 2 and this is power negative half. All that times 1 plus all that times dy dx equals 2xy squared plus 2x squared y dy dx. Now move that guy to the left, move this guy to the right. So 2xy squared minus all of that, and here this term minus this term. Why did we do that? We got the dy dx terms together so we can factor it out. You get all of this here equals all of this here. Eventually, you are going to divide this by this. Okay, that's derivative. So let's write this down carefully. There is a numerator over a denominator. Numerator is complicated, denominator is complicated. So numerator is 2xy power 2 minus 1 over, so you see there is a 2 and a square root, so I better put it in parentheses. Okay, so 2 square root x plus y. Okay, so be mindful of parentheses. Denominator here 1 over a parenthesis 2 square root x plus y, and then minus 2x power 2 y. Okay, next problem. Implicit differentiation, root xy plus equals 7 plus x squared y. Okay, take derivative with respect to x of both sides. Derivative of the left equals derivative of 7, derivative of x squared y. Here, this is square root xy is xy power half. Half comes down and reduces by power. Okay, but this is chain rule. There is something complicated inside. So it's derivative. That's product rule. Derivative of first, second as it is, plus first as it is, derivative of the second, equals derivative of constant is 0 plus. This calls for product rule. 2xy plus first as it is, derivative of the second. So notice half minus 1 is negative half. So this is 1 over 2 and this is square root xy. All that I'm multiplying to these terms. So this times this gets me a y upstairs. This times this gets me an x upstairs and a dy dx next to it. Equals 2xy x squared dy dx. So notice I have dy dx's in two places, so I'll bring them together. This term minus this term equals this term minus this term. Get dy dx factor together. This term minus x squared equals all of this, eventually divide by the coefficient of dy dx, and you have your derivative. So it's a complicated expression, but no worries. Parentheses over parentheses. Numerator 2xy minus y over, so notice there is 2 followed by square root, so you need a parenthesis. Within the parentheses you have 2 square root of xy, so parentheses for xy inside, okay, xy. That's the numerator. Denominator x over parenthesis 2 sqrt xy close parenthesis minus x to the power 2. Next problem, tan. So now we start with trigonometry. Tan x minus y equals y over 1 plus xy. Find dy dx. Take derivative of both sides. This calls for chain rule. Derivative of tan is secant squared, object inside as it is, times derivative of the object inside, 1 minus dy dx, equals. This calls for quotient rule. Square the denominator, derivative of the top, times denominator as it is, minus numerator as it is, derivative of the denominator. Okay. So look, there is a dy dx here and here. So you need to simplify this. This distributes. Okay, this distributes. On the right hand side, I have to divide the denominator into both pieces. So one of the factor cancels this factor, minus both of those factors survive. All right. Once I do that, this and this should be brought together. So I have a negative secant squared. I bring that here, that gets me another negative 1 over whatever. I have negative 2xy over all that, and I move this to the other side, negative. You see here, I have negative, 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 negative. So multiply throughout by negative 1, because it's an equation. I can multiply both sides by negative 1. Positive, 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 positive. It's the same expression but with positives now. Now dy dx is common. The rest of it equals no difference. Dy dx is all of this over all of this. Okay, so let's write that down. It's a complicated numerator over a complicated denominator. Numerator itself is complicated, so let's be careful. 2xy over, I have 1 plus x squared power 2 plus secant power 2 x minus y. That's the numerator. Denominator secant power 2 x minus y plus 1 over 1 plus x squared in parentheses. All right. So next problems I'll start on the next video.